43. A human being who is comprehensively taught is not a tool which is simply used. Rather, they are teachers who are needed by the students. 44. A wise human being first of all searches, clarifies, recognizes, and thinks before they act, and therein finds the truth and the ability in order to only then adapt their words accordingly after the act. 45. A wise human being is very versatile and masters both manual work as well as language and writing in manifold form, and therefore they are non-partisan and correct. An unwise human being is one-sided and partisan as well as incorrect, and is sluggish and slack in manual work. 46. When the human being learns without thinking, then the expended time and effort are senselessly wasted, because on one hand, thoughtless learning is not possible, and on the other hand, thinking without learning is dangerous and devolutive. 47. When the human being takes up and internalizes odd and unreal things and teachings, then they toss the truth far from themselves and fall prey to a belief in unprovable and non-existent things. But that is not only dangerous, rather harmful for all spiritual and consciousness-based progress, as well as for knowledge-based and wisdom-based progress. 48. A wise old saying about knowledge states that knowledge is based upon this. When the human being truly knows something, they remain firm in that they know it. But when a human being does not know something, then they must concede that they do not know it. This is a fundamental truth of knowledge. 49. The human being avoids rebuke when they always set aside everything about which they are in doubt, in order to think about and fathom it and find the truth. Only after finding the truth should they express themselves over it, but then only in extremely considered and careful form, as they also likewise ought to do with everything else. The human being may therefore always think profoundly and search for the truth, see very much and leave everything aside which appears dangerous to them. That which is unclear must be worked on, thought through and fathomed, while the remainder and that which has become clear is simultaneously carefully brought forward or is implemented. If the human being acts accordingly, then they will barely have cause for regret. Because if, with their words or actions, a human being gives little or no cause for rebuke, and if the human being's behavior has integrity and is fine, then there is indeed also only little or no ground at all for regret. That may be very much more rewarding for the human being than for all praise. 50. Submissiveness destroys every feeling of self-worth and causes the human being to live in bondage, because through submissiveness they are enslaved, subservient, and unfree in their whole existence. 51. Not only do the good have an entitlement to be supported, rather also do the bad. Good and bad alike are students in the block of evolution. And also the good were once bad. Subsequently, those who are currently bad will be good tomorrow. 53. If a human being takes the liberty of doing everything they desire and everything which they like, how could they still have the joy of denying themselves something or dreaming of something? 54. A human being without the true virtues of humaneness also has nothing to do with the rights of decency, honor, respect, and deference, because those who are without decency, honor, and respect also do not know any humaneness. 55. true modesty in every regard is a valuable virtue of the humaneness, which makes the human being deserving of honor and respect. However, immodesty makes one ugly, insatiable, unpopular, insincere, as well as wasteful, and leads one to being exploited. 56. Deep grief, as well as sorrow, worries, wrong thoughts, and wrong feelings lead to the disregarding and violation of that which is good, the truth, and the positive, and also to valuable morals and traditions being embarrassingly denigrated and neglected. 57. A truly peace-loving human being avoids quarreling, but if it is unavoidable, then the peace-loving one remains correct and polite, because even in quarreling they remain a peace lover. 58. A human being who recognizes that which is right, and nevertheless does not do it, shows that courage still lies fallow in them, or has not yet been born in them. 59. If the human being creates an idol, or if they run after one, if a human being creates a belief or falls prey to one, then they give up their own thinking and actions and their freedom. 61. The human being should not ever let their grief fall out of good human nature into painful excess. Otherwise, they harm or destroy themselves and their environment. 62. The human being is not denied enjoyments, but they ought not to fall out of good human nature into licentiousness. Rather, they should be a form of joy and refreshment, and should be cultivated and appropriate. 63. It is useless to discuss things that have already happened or been done. It is useless to reproach a human being about something which has already run its course, and therefore it is senseless and wrong to attribute blame for something that has passed. Truly, only that which is new, that which is coming, counts, which must be correctly handled, guided, and formed. The good or the faulty of all that which has passed can only be shown. However, no dialogue and no discussion about it can come about, because the past can no longer be changed, because it has flowed away and become unreachable. However, the mistakes which are pointed out can lead to their rectification in the future. Therefore, the human being ought to let the mistakes of their past be pointed out to them, but they should defend themselves against resulting reproaches and rebukes, as well as useless dialogue and discussions along the same lines.